Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann and Associates.
Yeah, that's right. Just a reminder, full-service law firm. If you have any legal needs, business, personal, maybe you want to get things set up for posterity's sake, give the experts at Heidemann Associates a call, and if you tell them Rewind sent you, you'll get a free consultation. Call 801-754-4240.
And also remind you, we're make 2022 the year of you with Western Governors University. Go to wgu.edu and fill out your chance to get a scholarship and get your degree, change your life on your own terms and on your own timeline. As always, we always want to recognize UCCU and also Salt Lake Running Company on their 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. Yeah. All right. Going to be very interesting. Let's get into this. We're going to get past week 2. We're at Lone Peak. Why? Lone Peak, a big bounce back. We'll get into that against Bishop Alamani, and we'll get into that just a little bit. But before we get started on anything else, let's get right to it. Our opening statement brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. Going to go to utah.law, find the law office nearest you. And Dane, look, we had teams, Corner Canyon and West, in 2 high-profile games, and we also had some other teams go out of state. It was Utah versus the World, and but the 2 high-profile ones, it's drawn a little bit of ire, and we both kind of think, okay, we need to bring some clarity to who West and Corner Canyon played, because we talked about this last week. Didn't know if you're going to be able to make judgment. You're not going to be able to learn a whole lot about these teams unless they went and showed out very, very well. Yeah. And I know that seems one-sided, but it's just what it is when you go play against a Mater Dei and Bishop Corner.
Yeah, look, no one attacks Dusty's Corner Canyon Chargers, all right? So we're going to settle this. All right, so yeah, I love this intro, and I think, just the opportunity, one, for West to go play the number 1 team in the country, Mater Dei, for Corner Canyon to go play the number 6 team in the country, Bishop Gorman. Man, what a great experience for these young men, right? To take those trips out there and go experience that. I was fortunate enough to be down in Las Vegas, see Bishop Gorman. I've been down there before. You've been down there before. It is different. And look, I love Utah Friday Night Lights, but you go there, it is different. You see it on the field. You see it in the stadium, in the surrounding area. It is different. And I think that's one of the things that jumps off the page when you're doing your preparation there and you see 22 starters for Bishop Gorman with 20 scholarship offers. This is not a team that has 5 D1 guys, 61 guys, which some we're accustomed to seeing in the state of Utah. 20 of your 22 starters. And this is not like, some of them are Hawaii and Fresno. It's Georgia, defending national champ. It's USC, future Big Ten. I mean, these are big-time, Miami, Oregon. These are big-time programs that these kids have offers and commitments to. It is a different level. And you see a guy like Zach Branch, top receiver in the country, and what he does, you just don't see that. You see the secondary guy like Justin Rhett going to Georgia. You just don't see that kind of quickness, athleticism, and it became very apparent very early, like this is just another level. And it gives maybe Corner a bit of a feel of what other teams feel like in the state of Utah, right? And same with Mater Dei. In fact, Mater Dei and Gorman will play each other this week, which will be a fantastic game. But just the physicality, the speed, the athleticism, and the broadness of that athleticism across the board. There's not a weak link in those programs at any position, and it's just a different experience. It doesn't belittle how good Corner is, how good West is, how good they'll compete in the state. Corner might lose 2 more games this year at most, right? And they could run the rest of the table. But it just speaks to, again, the opportunities for the state of Utah to continue to grow in football when they go and play top 5 teams nationally.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, because we should know this better in the state of Utah. This isn't the first team to go play Bishop Gorman, right? And the first team that went and did it, Bingham. We were there. It's what changed all of what we do, because we streamed. That was the first stream we ever did, and because Bingham went to overtime that year with the eventual national champion, there became this ire of like, well, Utah can hang. Yeah, you'll have your years. You're going to be able to hang. But guess what? Over time, and when that recruiting class there just grows and grows and grows in a 3-year period or 2-year period, things happen. It's why it was such a shock that Hamilton, Arizona did the crazy stuff they did in that comeback last year with, 3 onside kicks in a row to get the win. That stuff just doesn't happen very often. And so when you look at that one at Bishop Gorman, and I really want to go after it because people are really going after Corner Canyon. And you got to understand it. When Isaacs is in his second start, take care of in the second start, you're rebuilding and you're refilling the trough there at Corner Canyon.
New defensive coordinator, new schemes, replacing a lot of guys like a Harrison Taggart. I mean, really, you could argue Owen Borg, the linebacker, is the most experienced returner on Corner Canyon this year.
You don't have Cody Hagan.
No.
When your best wide receiver is take care in his second start, and it's not a knock, it's what it is, and it's not an excuse either. You're going to wear that on your record, but there's also a part of, hey, guys, look. let's just take reality, because here's later in the year, IMG Academy's going to come to town, and that was the first one we saw in person of one of these mega schools. And Dane, you know this, most people should know, for 3 years I went down there and did 4 games a year for Bishop Gorman.
Yeah.
Very well aware of what Gorman is. And I've done those games when Cocoa, Florida came in, when Servite, California, when Santa Margarita, KJ Costello was a kid that played at Stanford and at Mississippi State. Watch them all get dump trucked like Corner Canyon did. And it's just what you get when you walk in. De La Salle, too, did their game. They got thumped.
I'll add one more note to that. We talk about how great Corner Canyon's run has been, right? 3 state championships, 4 straight championship game appearances. Bishop Gorman won 10 straight state championships before being upset in overtime by Liberty, who's the second best program in the state of Nevada, in their regional final. To terminate what was a 10-year run. By the way, they won the state championship last year. Right. So, I mean, you speak about the dominance of what Gorman is and has been and continues to be. That's what they were going up against, and a team that returns a lot of talent off of last year's group that was a top 15 team nationally as well. So it was a tough night, a tough recipe, a tough environment, tough situation. But I'll tell you this, if you're Corner Canyon, look, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Like, you experienced it, watch the tape once, get rid of it. Great experience, and now you refocus on the state of Utah. And look, this is still a team. This is a top 2, top 3 team in the state of Utah. Easy.
Yeah.
And look, it's going to get easier for them. There's still going to be some tests. But look, you're not going to go up against that again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We kind of wanted to hit. Make sure to bring a little clarity. And, West isn't taking it near as much.
Right.
But that's why I want to go through that, because Corner Canyon is the lightning rod when it comes to this stuff. Because, hey, you kind of expect them. We did. We thought, hey, they'll hang. And there were moments, but then you get the wave that just comes, and it's where it goes. We want to take a moment just to bring a little truth serum and a little clarity to the situation of what we saw with Corner Canyon.
Yep.
So, all right, with that, let's get into our regular program. So, game of the week, that was the game of the week, and we wanted to go through that. So let's go to this best of 6A.
All right, Dusty. Hey, I'm going to start with a good old-fashioned rivalry, shall we? How about Roy and Fremont? For me, I had a lot of questions with Roy. New coaching staff, not only a new head coach, but they also lost Coach Jones, who is the defensive coordinator. So, I mean, man, all sorts of change at Roy. And how about Drew Gardner? The quarterback showing up, 4 passing touchdowns for the Royals in the 34-21 win over their rival, the Fremont Silverwolves. Roy, great to have him back on the winning side after a tough week 1. Yeah. Get the win against our rival in Fremont.
Region 2 is going to be very interesting. Where Roy can grow into. It'll be very, very interesting to see where they are. All right, well, why are we at Lone Peak? Well, we saw week 1. Yeah. This might just tell you how good Timthew is. We'll get that in just a moment. Lone Peak did not look like Lone Peak in week 1. Caden Hodson hadn't played quarterback since 8th grade. Well, week 2 was not week 1, because Caden Hodson showed up and showed out. 3 passing touchdowns, 1 to McChesney, 2 to Cole Christensen. And Cole Christensen had the backbreaker. Right before the end of the half, Cole Christensen on a punt return about the 30, 35-yard line, broke multiple tackles, got down the sideline in the end zone. The stream went dark, but Lone Peak did not. The Knights absolutely go into Bishop Alemany in a team that wanted the revenge for last year's game right here at Lone Peak. Revenge would not be had. It was a 49-0 game at one point. Went away with this one, 49-22. I believe was the final score, 49-20. Lone Peak, they're not dead yet.
They had a defensive touchdown as well.
Yes,
so
they
it's starting
did.
to feel like, Lone Peak, we've come to know over the recent years.
And I asked, hey, who got it? Because I hadn't looked at the film, hadn't seen the film yet. Yeah. Our broadcaster there, CJ Roddick, says there was a lot of guys there. I can't remember. So it just tells you who they were in the backfield, because there's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Lone Peak coach Brock Bank. Yeah, the tell of their demise was a little premature.
We knew they'd get better, right?
Yeah.
That's the story of Lone Peak football. Yeah. We are everyone's just thermostat, right? We just
like I said, we don't have a favorite.
That's
well,
right.
One of us has a favorite.
Yeah. All right, hey, let's go to my best of 5A, shall we? How about one of the games that I think I got horribly, horribly wrong? The Devils, the Red Devils of Springville. My goodness, boy, Skyline week 1, that offense was fantastic. Through the air, Bo Tate was dominative defensively, but this was all Springville. Yeah, Miles Hall, I think he had 3 or 4 touchdown receptions. This was all Springville. It was tied up 17 at the half. Second half, Springville just put the pedal to the metal, 45-17. It was Casanova Valetti with 3 rushing touchdowns in the second half. Springville improving to 2-0. Ryder Burton had a passing touchdown in that one, and Springville flexing the muscle. This is still a team returning a lot of talent off of last year's state runner-up, looking for A title here in 22, but looking strong here early.
Blame it on the Casanova, the dance of love. What a great name.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Steve Young commercial, by the way, from way back in the day. All right, my best of 5A. A bounce-back city game for both teams. Brighton and Syracuse both looking to bounce back after week 1 losses. And here we go. Go right into it. Jack Johnson throws not 1, but 3 touchdown passes on the night, and none to McMasters. That kid was targeted 40,000 times in week 1. Does not have a touchdown in week 2. That bodes well for Coach Casey Cetera and crew. Donovan Wismer, 40 yards out from Jack Johnson, putting this one away for Brighton, 24-17. The Bengals get the revenge from last year's loss against Syracuse, but bounce back after week 1, the loss at Desert Hills with a 24-17 win and the first win for Coach Cetera. Congratulations to Casey.
It's come from behind, too. They scored the final 10 points in that contest in defeating Syracuse. Congratulations, Coach. Good things happening at Brighton.
Absolutely. All right, your best of 4A.
I'm going to let you start with the best of 4A, actually.
How about this? Bounce back city? Yeah, let's go there. Let's talk about the opposite sides of one of those games, right? Remember Riverton stunned Syracuse in week 1. They go down to Dixie, to St. George in the Heat in week 2, and it was Dixie. Remember, they graduated a ton of talent from last year's team. Jeff Christian and Jalen Schultz each had rushing touchdowns, and then Bibby on a field goal sealed the deal as Dixie knocked off Riverton 17-13, avenging a loss from last year. So the Dixie Flyers get the win, and they're 1-1.
Dusty's living on 10-0 runs because it was a 10-0 run for Dixie to come from behind against Riverton. Hey, I'm going to go theme style because, Dane, I can't just pick one, right? I got to have lots of different storylines. So I'm going to piggyback on yours. How about 4A? Because you talk about Dixie getting the nice win over Riverton. How about you look at a team like, let's go Crimson Cliffs. They were playing Spanish Fork. And I know the Dons, they were in our preseason top 25. This was all Crimson Cliffs in this one, as Topalian had a 93-yard rushing touchdown to set the tone early. Barban had a pair of passing touchdowns. West had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in a lopsided victory for the Mustangs 35-7. And then Desert Hills trailed Cedar Valley 21-0, and the Thunder come roaring back to get a win. Thunder rolls in overtime over Cedar Valley 31-28. 4A playing up, getting wins. We got our eyes. There's a lot of good 4A teams that you might see crack our top 25 poll this week.
Well, Jeff Hansen and I showed that Desert Hills touchdown, was it 31 seconds left?
25 seconds left. Yeah.
Well, I think it's when he went in. Snap was at 31.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah. I just got the box score.
Yeah, it was awesome. The way Desert Hills, Rick Barry does second year is doing a great job down there as well. All right, best of the rest. Well, I guess we did it for you. Best of the rest. You ready for this? Last year it was the Wolf Watch. This year it is all about Little Hollywood, the Kanab Cowboys, just like they did in week 1. In week 2, it was Griffin Bone. Well, it was a 10-0 run. How about this? Parker Franklin 5-yard run out, and then Griffin Bone buries it at the horn. 18-15. The Cowboys taking care of business, knocking off Millard. 18-15 at the horn.
I'm kind of surprised you went on that. First of all, how about Kanab's no give-in mentality?
I love it.
My goodness. Congratulations. I thought you were going to go short arm watch because the Carbon Dinos, Dusty, they're 2-0. How about that?
Oh, man.
Cheer for old Carbon.
I didn't know you were... He set me up. He told me. I told him earlier. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, I was going to... Were you going to hear that? Can you hear that? Cheer for old Carbon. Carbon will win. Absolutely.
All right. Hey, I'm going to go first.
Hold on. You got to hit some names here.
Oh,
you can't take it from him.
Wyatt
Falk ran for 1, threw for 2, 1 to Vasquez. Some family friends of mine. Yep. Hey, here we go. Carbon, baby. 31-13. Woo! Little Ric Flair.
Yeah,
2
there
claps
you
and a
go.
Ric Flair.
There you go.
Yeah.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Yes.
Man, congratulations. Way to go, Carbon. Hey, I'm going to go first time, shall we? First time ever. You ready? This has never happened in state history. Not once.
I know where you're going.
The first 8-man football game being played. It was Rich and Monticello and the Rebels getting the win. It was a 14-14 game at half. Hunter Pace had 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown as Rich gets the 26-20 win over Monticello. As an old Idaho boy, look, I may not have grown up on the farms, but I always knew 8-man football was going on. Congratulations to Rich Monticello, first 8-man game being played in state history. Love that growth into it, get more communities involved in this great sport. but wanted to highlight that as Monticello, wasn't that long ago they were competing in 1A, made it to a semifinal if I recall correctly, but our first 8-man football game being played in state history, and congratulations, Rich, on the win.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I love seeing 8-man football. Remember we made the move to fall baseball in 1A, and now to have 8-man football, just great, because just including more kids, I think it's awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the quick hits brought to you by Western Governors University. We might go fast here, but you can get your degree and change your life at your own pace. Go to WGU.edu. Dan, go ahead.
All right, hey, there was an out-of-state game we did not cover. How about the Orem Tigers going to Nevada?
LR3.
Well, he had a good one.
LR3.
LR3 had 3 passing touchdowns, all of Desalia Paga, 14 yards, and 24 yards as Orem gets the 21-14 win over Desert Pines, representing the state of Utah against Nevada.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, you know me. I love a storyline. How about Enterprise and South Sevier? Just like last year.
Yeah.
Poor South Sevier. Oh, man. Back-to-back weeks. They lost to North Sevier in the last moments. Well, and then it's Kyron Bracken. The Brackens, they're an institution in Enterprise, a 13-yard run at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and the Wolves, woo! 21-14, the win over the Rams.
That didn't sound like a wolf. We'll have to work on that.
I got to work on that one.
We'll work on that.
I was in between the Ric Flair and the There we go. Got it.
Much better. Hey, I'm going to go another game that was a rematch from last year. Grantsville Beaver. Beaver, man, they were in this one early. 14-7 had the lead, and then Grantsville, boy, took care of things. Ethan Rayner, we had him last year, had an award for Rayner last year. He had a touchdown run with no time left to expire the first half, and then a 21-0 run by Grantsville to put this one away. 35-14. The Grantsville, yeehaw! Since we're going sound, getting the win over Beaver.
I don't have a sound for this one. Maybe I do. How about this? Something that hasn't happened since 2002 for back-to-back weeks. Cypress knocks off Highland as Skylar Armenta rushed for 2 touchdowns. And the first time, now granted, this is the first time they played since 2014, but the first win, Cypress over Highland since 2002. Wow. Congratulations to the Pirates.
Love it. You want to go first since? How about first since 2017? Taylorsville, we're seeing you. 2-0 for the Taylorsville Warriors. 27-20 over Jordan as Leland Acco had 2 rushing touchdowns. Taylorsville, man, you talk about Region 2.
Gonna get interesting.
Yes.
Cypress 2-0, they're 2-0.
And I don't know if we'll touch this thing, but Granger competitive against Mountain Ridge. 10-7, Mountain Ridge got that win. Granger was in that one.
Yes, they were.
Region 2, folks.
It was 10-0. Granger scored late.
Yeah.
Didn't have a chance or at the very end. But how about this one? We picked this one, went opposite ways, and this one went my way, but there's a sad story at the end. But Farmington, 24-3, Adam Stuckey, 64-yarder and a 20-yard touchdown reception. Eastman added a scoop and score as well for Farmington as they knock off Bountiful. But Bountiful, we're going to see where this team goes. We got Corbin Cottle.
Yeah, injury news.
Yeah, he got injured. Will be out a few weeks, 4 to 6 weeks without Corbin Cottle. As Bountiful's going to try to keep things together there with Coach Freckleton to get them into the playoffs, and hopefully when Corbin comes back.
Yeah. Just
gut you when a senior gets hurt, especially a senior had such a great junior year.
Yep.
Was on pace for something there. But we wish you a speedy recovery, Corbin, and hope to see you back on the field soon.
It'll be interesting how that plays out in region. You talk about the start Viewmont's had, also Box Elder. There's some competitive teams there. That's a big note. Certainly hope Corbin gets back on the field soon here. You talk about, I just want to hit this one. I took it a little bit on the chin for my pick of Bountiful over Farmington. Look, we like to give bulletin board material. Yeah. It's not Farmington teal. It's kind of close-ish. So Farmington, I apologize for getting that wrong. I had someone wish for a retraction. I can't do that with digital media. But Farmington, my apologies. And look, we had them in the top 10. We knew it was going to be a good squad. Nice to see them bounce or get a statement win here in week 2. All right, hey, how about Milford?
Yes.
Milford with a lot of offense. Soy. Still trying to get that pronunciation right. Let me know if I mix that up. 4 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Bo Hardy had a pick 6 as well. Milford's got a lot of offense this year. Maybe a sleeper down out of Milford.
Yeah, how about a team bouncing back? Alta struggled in week 1 and week 2. It was Bronco Hansel threw for 2 touchdowns. Anthony Cottis caught one of those TDs and also added a rushing touchdown as ALTAHJWK knocked off Westlake 27-20.
I don't know if underrated is the right term, but I feel like people are sleeping a little bit here early on Park City,
Yeah.
26-7 win over Maple Mountain. You had a pair of passing touchdowns, or McCurdy had a 7-yard rushing touchdown. Bayer had a pair of rushing touchdowns. We've come to know the quality of Park City football over the years. This is a team right now. I feel like maybe lying in the weeds. People aren't talking about them enough. Park City with a nice win over the Eagles.
Well, American Fork went up to Weber, and it was a close game going in the second quarter, and then AF opened it up. 28 points in the quarter, 2 passing touchdowns from Champion Edwards, and Lincoln Jackson added a touchdown as well, and a pick 6 from Cale Burrows as AF, the caveman, without Trey Roberts having to do a whole lot. That's when you show how good your team is. When your guys that have to show up on offense don't have to be the ones carrying it, makes you a little scarier as AF ran away from Weber 48-22.
Had a nice non-region nail-biter in 5A. Provo, Box Elder.
That was a fun one.
This was a gritty battle and kind of, blow after blow. In the end, Provo getting the overtime win as Kyson Condi 3 passing touchdowns, 44-38. I'll tell you a name to keep an eye on. Daxton Sumko, 4 rushing touchdowns for the Bees. I had someone tell me Box Elder might be a team that would be in the mix for that Region 5 title. There's a lot of them, but Box Elder, tough overtime loss. Provo, nice bounce back after that loss in week 1.
Hefo with that game-winning touchdown. It was a nice play, too, off the little slip screen. How about this one? This is a game that we wanted to see was going to happen. San Juan comes back up into Bluffdale for back-to-back years to take on Summit Academy. And I tell you what, Parker Snyder was having himself a night. Found Jersey Neves early, twice in the first quarter. First quarter, absolutely showed out with a couple more touchdown passes as little Sienna Nielsen keeps sprinkling a little good luck magic on the San Juan Broncos. They are now 2-0 with a decisive 42-28 win over Summit Academy.
Hey, there was a major matchup this week. Skyridge East.
Matchup.
Hey, I gotcha. Skyridge East.
Yes.
This was all Skyridge. My goodness, what a night. Terry Apaya had a 75-yard block kick that he returned to close out the first half. Hillstead had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, 42-0. Look, when you shut out East, you know that defense is legit. You mentioned it earlier, how good that defense is. Can't wait for that Skyridge corner matchup. That's going to be a really fun one. But Skyridge serving notice here in week 2 with a shutout over the Leopards.
That offense.
Yes,
it's looking
next
great.
level. Yep.
You talked about a northern rivalry. We had another one. The Battle of Gentile Street. Layton Northridge. Tyler Wenzel threw for 2, ran for 1. Braxton Martin ran for 2. And the Battle of Gentile Street went back to the Fathers, the Lancers, with the win 45-28 over Northridge.
I had someone tell me, we won't disclose names, people were asking for hot takes. They said, here's my hot take. Layton wins Region 1. That's a hot take. I'll tell you, their start,
it is
timestamped.
This hot take is timestamped.
We got it documented.
Only going to be shared who it is if it's right.
If it's right, yeah.
He's lucky. He's lucky. He's hedging his bets.
It's good to have friends, huh? Good to have friends. Hey, how about one more out-of-state game?
Okay.
Timpanogos heading down to California, taking on Corona, 57-6. Timpanogos lost the quarterback last week. We didn't quite know what that was going to look like. Offense appearing to be A-OK for the T-Wolves, as Iasofa had 3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. Livingston as well in the mix, passing and receiving. Offense came to play. You
know what the mix was? It was the fact that Luke Livingston and Iasofa were swapping at quarterback. They took turns. You can't let Luke Livingston lose pace on breaking state records. Yeah, he can't just play quarterback.
No.
Tage Lister played really well in that one, too. So good job on the T-Wolves. Going down to Corona, taking care of business. Hey, how about 2-0s? Bonneville. Bonneville's 2-0. They went out 2-0, took care of it. Jackson Johnson threw for 3, ran for 1. And the Lakers are 2-0. They say, hey, you got to talk about us when City and guys aren't on the team. We got you.
Yeah.
I saw you.
2 other ones I don't think we've touched.
Stansbury?
No, but that's a good one. No, although they set a school record. Congratulations to Coach Drew Jones. I was actually going to go Wasatch over Skyview.
Yeah, good
nice bounce back for the Wasps. And Timpview over Harriman.
Timpview Harriman.
Man.
Timpview's good.
They are good.
Look out. 5A. Well, so here's the other one. And then Lehigh. Jackson, don't call me Croissant Brousseau. Goes out and lights it up again. 48-0 back-to-back weeks. Lehigh's going to have a test here really soon coming up.
The 2 quarterbacks for Timpview combined for 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's the only time I think I've been like, that 2 quarterback system works. It's working at Timpview right now.
Works for Timpanogos, it's working for Timpview. And it's working for AF, because AF's running a
That
quarterback
is
system
true.
too.
Yeah. All
There's
right.
a few that are
See,
got it going.
Dave's just being proved wrong today.
Not being proved wrong, I'm just
I'll take
adding,
it.
saying
No,
that,
you're
what's
right.
happening.
You're right.
Amazingly enough, almost all of those are in 5A. So we're going to figure out where it is. Let us know what we missed. Be sure we missed something. Hit us up. Let us know. Look out for other videos, top 5 plays. Pick against us in our picks video. We love having the competition, and look out for our rankings as well. But week 3 is right upon us, as our coverage will continue to get bigger and better as well. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching KSL Sports Rewind on KSLSports.com.